Good evening. Tonight we find out who the fucking hardcores are. Let's see who the real UFC fans are. Not that that's a thing to be prideful of these days. How we doing, fuckers? I can't help myself. Not even 30 seconds in. Juliano Prates. What the fuck is all that about? How you doing, Chris? Great. How you doing, Westy? What's good, man? This is a very unique... Well, it's not a unique position for me. I've done this before. Kind of. I've streamed in the morning on a late card. Or a very early card, as I might put it this time. It's nice to be streaming first thing on a Saturday morning, watching a card. This should be good. But I suspect it's going to be dead zone. We'll see how it goes. How's everyone doing? Still got a little bit of the sniffles, as you can see. So, as is the norm now, I'm going to hang out for a little bit until the card starts. I've been to cards in China before, and I've been to a card in China before, and it's amazing. I need 43 cigarettes and a shower. It's very specific, bro. Where are you at the moment? Are you out or are you home? Hopefully the microphone's all right. I'm glad I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I think I'd be dead already. I forgot that you were a smoker. I've got my parlay locked in and loaded. Silk pajamas pick has been made. I am ready to go. Locked and loaded. I'm home, Mike. Good. It's so inconsistent, man. Do you know what? I cannot figure it out. Sometimes it's like crystal clear. Sometimes it's echoey. And I haven't changed my settings one little bit. It's very strange indeed. I just realized I've accidentally gone into vertical and I can't change it. That's annoying. That could backfire. Doing a vertical usually means I get all types of weirdos turn up. Do a round robin. I'm not doing a round robin. I've had 10 weeks in a row of successful bets, which means this one's definitely going to go wrong. But I've made a lot of money. I feel good. I feel real good. There's not enough confident picks I have on this card to be doing any round robin nonsense. Salsa Boy's time has come. It's going to be glorious. Do you mean is Salsa Boy that fat cunt? What's his name? The one who's in the co-main. Pavlovich is gonna knock his head off, mate. He's shit. I hope you haven't mortgaged the house on that one, because he's garbage. He's a fat sack of garbage. I've hit 20 parlays. Why'd you always have to win? This is definitely Giuliano. I thought it might be an alt, but claiming to be the best at parlays already, definitely the real Gio. Well, Western Mass Husky. Oh. Fucking hell, my immune system is shot. Oh. How you doing, Northie? What's good, bro? I saw you were live the other night, but I couldn't get in. I hope you're well. What's going on? What's going on, Chef? Chef Chris? Is that Gilly's real account? Hard to tell these days. I mean, the cunt uses about 40 different alts, but I'm gonna say yes. The fact that it's taken him 10 seconds to call himself the best at something, definitely Giuliano. I'm walking to get cigarettes. All right, now you're being a bit too contrived. This might not be Giuliano. Might not be. I feel like you're going through the Giuliano bingo card. Calm down, Westy. It's not that kind of vibe tonight. We're just chilling. I don't even know what Western Mass Huskins means. Bosh, how's it going, Frankie? You sound like you had one too many cockroaches in your trip to Asia. I've been sick all week, man. We did a nice live stream on Tuesday, I think, or I think it was Tuesday. We missed the Sunday one. My throat was fucked. And I'm slightly recovering, doing all right. By the way, I just got my new Lamborghini Ducati Panigale, but this is definitely not Giuliano. Respect for the trolling, whoever you are, cunt. Like I said, I appreciate you, boys. We'll hang out for about an hour and a half. I think that's when I think it's about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. And I expect some love tonight, seeing as it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it is Giuliano. Giuliano, shut the fuck up. I've told you the rules in here about coming here and stirring shit. So don't do it. Frankie, have you ever bought your dad a car? No. No, I haven't. My dad died when I was 20 years old and he was a cunt. Actually, I might have been 22. But he didn't buy me a card either. How's it going, John Dong? Damn, Frankie, how's it going? I haven't been able to keep up with the last couple of weeks. I'm doing well, right? I haven't really been on that much, you know. We did a banger of a live on Tuesday, which was a fuckload of fun. But no, I've kind of been spending time with the family and just, I was on holiday as well. I was in Nam. I only managed to do 3 lives when I was out there. But yeah, I'm good, man. Got overcoming a little bit of a chest infection, but doing good, man. I'm excited about this one. Very excited. I think this card is gonna do very bad numbers, certainly in America. Who wins, MVP or 2022 middleweight Alex Pereira? That's actually not as dumb a question as it sounds. Because 2022 middleweight Alex Pereira was an even worse grappler than the version of what he is now. I actually think MVP might point fight to a win. MVP does not lose in a straight striking fight. The only thing I would say is that I think Alex Pereira could do his leg kicking game always gives him an advantage, and MVP does plant a bit. But I'm with you, man. I think MVP would probably win the window. This time is shit. This time is amazing, Chrissy. It's first thing in the morning on a Saturday. The whiskey's in the cupboard, and the pot of morning brew is ready to go. And I fucking love it. Well, you've got Westy, you've got obviously Mingyang is obviously well known, and Johnny Walker. That should be a quick one. The Aljamain Sterling and half dead Aljamain and Ortega should be an interesting one. I'm gonna go with Ortega, man. Sorry, not Ortega. See, there was a slip of the tongue. I'm gonna go with Aljamain Sterling. I think Aljamain Sterling's too slick on the ground to get subbed out, and that's basically Ortega's best chance. So I'm gonna go with Aljamain Sterling on it. I haven't got it in a parlay though. I don't love it. It's 12:39 a.m. I know, beautiful, isn't it? And the card isn't starting until like 2:30 in the morning for you cunts. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Good morning, Frank. How you feeling? I'm all right. My throat's still a little bit scratchy, as you can hear. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm locked. I'm ready to go. Got a whole day of sport locked in. Gonna bang out this UFC card. And I've got a day of Premiership action. 9:39 for Mr. 509. So, Mr. 509, you're about to experience a real UK experience. 11 p.m. start time. Let's see if you can make it to the end. Aljo by decision. I like that one. I think Aljo is going to win. I don't think he finishes him. It's only 3 rounds, right? Aljo looks good at this weight. I think the fact he hasn't had to cut has helped him. Brian Ortega looks dead zone. Can you unban Giuliano Prates so I can laugh at his comments? I can't be fucked, mate. I didn't even know he was banned. 9:40 p.m. It was Kenny. Who's Kenny? Who the fuck is Kenny? Yeah, so he was. The thing is, yeah, if I was Aljo, yeah, I would have dug my heels in and said, I'm assuming, yeah, because they've agreed to a catch weight or a different weight, that Aljo isn't going to get a bump in pay. It's 5 rounds. Yeah, I think I still take Aljo in that one. Brian Ortega's secretly a punching bag. And I'm kind of sick of his fucking antics, to be honest. The cunt absolutely cannot make weight in any division, it seems like. And he's a weirdo. Brian Ortega's a weird one for me because he obviously gets down with the ladies, yeah, but he's also a little bit of a simp. It's very confusing to me. And there was a time when banging Tracy Cortez, seemed like a respectable option. No, I don't think Aljo's going to sub him. I don't see that happening. Brian Ortega's very, very good on the ground. Mate, can you remove the second chat? Yeah, hang on a second. Is that better? Now you can see my beautiful mush zoomed in. United Kingdom, how you doing? Supervision 1, shout out to you. Shout out to the UK. Finally, we get a respectable card time. Till Cortez broke his heart. I'm pretty sure he dumped her ass. Which in hindsight was a very good move. I thought Cortez was hot until I heard her voice. The creator Allah is the creator. Your way with words is fascinating, sir. The fridge is also very fridgy. You feel me? But mashallah, brother. Mashallah. Anyway. King of Kings. All right. Frankie, my old folks just got back from the UK and their favourite cities were Cardiff and Liverpool. Thoughts on those places? Wales is a sleeper place. Wales is actually real decent. Wales is very decent. I'm very angry with Liverpool at the moment, so they can suck my actual ballsack, that entire city. Bunch of bin-dipping, disgusting cunts. So fuck them. Who would win, Mohamed Makayev or Tatsuro Taira? Tatsuro Taira. Mohamed Makayev is decent. He's very effective at what he does. But I can't stand him. I cannot stand Mohamed Makayev. I also think Tatsuro Taira gets better every time we see him in there. So I would go. Taira's going to be a champion one day. I think Taira will get the Pantoja rematch, and I think he'll beat him. And I think when Taira gets the belt, it's going to be very hard to get off him. That's my prediction. I reckon. Yeah, I reckon he. I predict that Taira gets the belt and defends it at least 3 times. Why are you mad at Liverpool right now? They're trying to gank our player, mate, and talk shit about my team. Liverpudlians are all scum. They're just a bunch of bin raiders. Good matchup. Maybe I don't think Mikhaev can lay on him. I think Tyra's very strong and explosive, and I don't think Mikhaev will want to fuck with him down there because Mikhaev, as you said, is a lay and prayer, whereas Tyra is very dangerous on the ground. So it would have to be a stand-up fight, and I think Tyra's improving every time we see him on the feet. Lego head versus no chin. That is a brilliant summation of the main event. I'm going with Lego head. He does look like a fucking Lego, doesn't he? He's got that typical Chinese square head. See, what happens with Chinese babies is they're born with like square heads, and then they grow up, and then it turns into a perfect sphere. But this guy just evolved to keep in or maybe it's de-evolution. I don't know. True, fuck him. Manchester United can suck my ball sack as well. I hope you crash and burn. But yeah, shout out to you, Swervo. I'm going for Lego Head. I think Lego Head is going to actually murder him tonight in front of his own people. I don't see a China man losing in China as well. Should I put money on Waldo? No, he's going to get beaten up. Waldo Costas, look at who Waldo Costas fought. Nobody. He's shit. He's a fat dumpling. I genuinely think that Waldo would lose to Spivak and what's the other one? Tibura, or the other like nearly Mandem. Do you know what I mean? Waldo Costa Cortez is not a good fighter. He's a fat blob. You really think Waldo's gonna knock out Pavlovich? That's his only shot. He's not gonna be able to take him down. Pavlovich is way too big, and Costa's takedowns aren't that good. Heaven or hell? It depends what heaven and hell looks like. To be honest with you, because like I said, if hell is full of like bitches and parties, might have to go with that. I can't bet against Waldo. He's made me a lot of money, but this is the trap that people often fall into. I've done this loads of times, where someone's made me money on a consistent basis, and then the thing is that all good things must come to an end. Hasn't Waldo beaten Spivak? He might have done, actually. Hang on. Waldo Cortez. It's hard to keep up with his shit career. But basically, what the point that I'm making here is he's kind of in amongst those mandem. Let's have a look who he's fought. Yeah, he beat Sergey Spivak. Oh, here's the thing. Yeah, I thought he lost that fight. I thought he lost to Spivak. I thought that was a filthy robbery. He's beat Ryan Spann. Who cares? Rebellis de Spain. Who cares? An old man Orlovsky. Bursky. He lost to Marcos Rogerio de Lima. He's shit. Look at the guys he's fought. Thomas Peterson, Jared Vanderis, Chase. It's all bums. Sergey's made a career from beating up cans like this. See, Sergey's in one of those weird situations where he's not in that top 4, so he's not as good as like Volkov, Gone, obviously Aspinall. He's outside that little group. He's basically the top of the second group. Waldo's probably going to gas out after round 1. Here's how you got to see it, yeah. How is Waldo going to win? He's not going to want to get in the pocket with him because Sergey's got nasty power. How you doing, Raul? Good to see you, brother. He's not going to want to get into the pocket with him. Sergey's got better reach. He's not going to be able to take him down because Sergey is a genuine... He's not a blob of a heavyweight. He's a big unit. Waldo's takedowns aren't that good, as I said. How's he going to win? My bet is Walker getting the finish. The thing is, yeah, I don't hate that, yeah. I don't hate it because Walker is dangerous, yeah. I was talking to Lane about this earlier on. Walker's dangerous, yeah, but he's got 2 things in MMA that are a really bad base. He's fucking dumb, and he's got no chin. I think he's going to get smashed. And Mingyang will have that Chinese power being in his own country. He rolls around there. You think he's going to lose in front of other Chinese people? His family will get taken hostage. He knows what's on the line. He's not going to lose in China. But yeah, Raul, I don't hate that pick. Johnny Walker could Johnny Walker could catch him and smash him out. It could absolutely happen. I just don't trust his brain or his chin. And unfortunately, you need both those things in MMA. He's a scrud. He's going to get battered. I flipped from Walker, by the way, after our conversation. The thing is, Lane, I've been on a hot streak lately, which means it's going to come to an end. But I don't think Walker's going to be the issue. I don't think he will. I think Walker's going to get flatlined. I'm more worried about some of my other. I've got 3 picks. I'm not going to tell you exactly because I've learned something else as well. When I tell people what my parlays are, they always fuck up. The thing is, I do that as well, Raul. I do play the odds. And the odds on the thing is, when you got 2 big lads in there where both of them could win, one punch could end it all. It's like with women's fighting. Bet on the underdog if you're going to bet on anyone because women are all shit. And it's more than likely, well, most of them are shit. And it's more than likely going to go to a decision and it might go your way. So that's where you use that old couch cushion money on the underdog. And Johnny Walker falls into that camp as well. It's like with, I've got, how you doing, Ik Noir? I got Sterling by submission or points. What do you think? I've got Sterling as well. Sterling looks good at the weight. Brian Ortega looks like he's gone through the... Brian Ortega needs to put down the pies. He needs to put down the pies and the chocolate covered enchiladas. Do you know what I mean? The fat cunt. Or maybe he's eating too much chocolate covered pussy. I don't know. The guy, it looks like a constant mess all the time. But I think the thing is though, he's tricked us with this before. Brian Ortega's a weird one. You can always guarantee with a Brian Ortega fight that he's going to jump on the scales looking like absolute shit. But what you can't tell is what version of him you're going to get on the night. Are you going to get the Yair Rodriguez or are you going to get the Max Holloway version? You don't know. I'm picking Sterling. Sterling's one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC. Yeah, Swervo. Ortega always looks dead at weigh-ins though. Thing is, Sterling is tricky on the feet. How you doing, JPL? By the way, I saw you in here earlier. Good things. I'm glad I was talking positive about Wales earlier. Almost got caught with my pants down. Frankie loves a chocolate enchilada. The kind you're thinking of is exactly what I like. I can understand why you don't believe in Sterling. I think he's funky enough on the feet. And I think his wrestling's obviously very decent. His takedown percentage isn't as good as you think it would be. But I think he's going to be slick enough on the ground to not get subbed. I'm not betting on the Sterling and Ortega fight, though. Say that in your Dillian White Roadman voice. I don't sound like Dillian White. Dillian White sounds like me. How you doing, Steve Spiros? What's good, brother? Hope you're well. Are you currently at work and listening to your boy? By the way, shout out to Silk Pajamas right now. If you guys haven't put your picks in, head over there immediately and get that done. It's a free legger this week. This is not a paid sponsorship. Shout out to silkpajamas.vip. Jamie Sandoval. I think the rematch. I think Max rematch Ilya at 155. He gets KO'd for sure. 100%. 100%. I think he'd have a better chance though. I think he would have a better chance. I was of the opinion that him going back down to 145 was a fucking stupid mistake. Going up and down in weight classes is never a smart choice. And I stand by that. I'm in silk pajamas. I got a nice little... My silk pajamas record has been... I finished second, I finished third. And I finished bottom a bunch of times. I'm a go all in kind of cunt. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm figuring out the system though. If I bet, I'd bet Ortega. I have to agree with that. Because I feel like it's going to be a close enough fight. I just think Sterling's a better mixed martial artist. And I think that Brian Ortega, I don't trust what he's doing outside of the cage. I think he's too busy getting his dick wet, in my humble opinion, which is something that I don't necessarily criticize. But when, save that shit for after you retire. Legend, can't believe Brutal is the interim champ. Brutal, yeah, had a great week last week. A great week. Apart from his main event pick, which most of us got wrong. What up, bro? Just listening today, mate. Have a good one. How you doing, Tim? Hope you're well, bro. Yeah, we're gonna hang out for the next. I'm assuming that Dougie's very happy with the start time as well. It's just gonna be like the middle of the day for him, right? It's gonna be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or some shit, or 5. He's gonna be loving this. Shout out to Dougie's Corner as always. A few people told me the Ortega fight was cancelled yesterday. I think they were talking about it. I've got Pavlovich. Oh, what? Do you know what? I might as well say it now. Steve, you and I have the exact same parlay. The exact same parlay. That's the three-legger that I've gone for. I've gone Pavlovich, I've gone Mikel Pereira, and I've gone Zhang. That's my three-legger. And like I said, I'm on a winning streak of a lifetime at the moment. So hopefully it continues. I'd like to pump at least one more week after it. Do you think you could beat Dylan Dennis in a scrap? No. No, I don't. I think it would be a draw. Because he's too slow on the draw. He's way too slow. Yeah, it's weird that you said that, Steve. Steve, those were the only three that stood out to me. The thing is, yeah, I know that a lot of people shit on me for picking DDP, and I was coping a little bit. I didn't bet on DDP though. I bet on the fight to go to the second round as part of a parlay, and I just ching. I like it. I'm tailing your bet. I think those are the three obvious ones, to be honest. I think those are the three. And again, the odds are kind of very appealing to me. Mikel Pereira won like 5 in a row at middleweight, and now he's fighting Chris Dorcas, who, let's be real, or what's his name? Not Chris. Chris is the older brother. What's his name again? Doesn't matter. A Dorcas, who, as I said to Lane earlier, smells like I smell bacon when I smell those two. Anytime an ex-cop gets in there, bet against them. So yeah, he's a fucking rasher. He got cut from the UFC and went and beat up a couple of cans on the regionals, and now he's back and he's fighting Mikel Pereira. And he's a guy who only really wins by sub. He's getting melted. Damn yellow teeth, what the fuck? I've got like funny lights on me, bro. Do you know how lights work? And I'm British, we've all got horrible teeth. Fuck you, Mike. I'm still beautiful. Dorcas is literal ass. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. DDP wasn't a bad pick. Hamzat has never been that patient before. I still think Hamzat is going to get fraud checked one day. The only issue with Hamzat is that he's not going to be active. We're not going to see Hamzat fight for another year. I said it in my last live stream. I would be flabbergasted if he fights in the next 9 months. And I used to like Hamzat. When he came steaming into the UFC, I was a big fan. But are you for or against prelim picks? Yeah, I used to do entire card picks. I used to break down the entire card, and I stopped getting oh shit, your teeth are yellow like the sun, sir. And I still get more bitches than you. So suck my ballsack. He's definitely not fighting this year. He's definitely not. Yeah, Dorcas is back in the UFC. Lane didn't know this either. I think she thought that he'd been in the UFC the whole time and then didn't realize he hadn't fought until since 2022 in the UFC. He's been out can crushing on the regionals. Americans deserve better. Fuck you. Is this the feet stream? You turned up a little bit late. The feet come out at the beginning, to reel in all the fucking freaks. That was my original channel name, Feet Night Frankie. Sorry to disappoint, but if you want to see feet, go back to the beginning of the stream. I love that they all start out barefoot, especially Misha Cupcake. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't understand people who no, Chris Dawkins. It's not. It's the other one. Not Chris. It's Kyle, his younger brother, the middleweight. Why is his teeth AI yellow? Well, I've got what do you call it? Lights on behind me, innit? So that's how light works, you dumb fuck. And I'm proud of my beautiful gnashes. I've worked hard on them. Not really. No, Chris Dawkins is the fat heavyweight. It's his brother, who, let's be honest, is equally as shit. So, morning, Frankie. Thoughts on Borjas taking the W? Who's he fighting again? I like Borjas. He's quite tough. Let me double check. Sumaderji. Yeah, Sumaderji's a dodgy one. I don't know. I don't hate that. He's the underdog, right? I'm gonna start tuning on UFC nights. You got a great chat. I usually just do like a pre-stream, and we have weekly. We do weekly panels and stuff like that. It's usually fun. Show us your teeth if you're so proud of them. Shut the fuck up, mate. I don't just do what I'm told. When I say my teeth are beautiful, that's the end of the conversation. And you can fucking see them right here. So shut your mouth, you weirdo. Yeah, sorry, Iknawa, for my crash out there. Welcome to the stream. Is Sumaderji the guy who always acts like there's a flower on his face? The one and the same. Yeah. He's got a bit of a twitch to him. He's got a bit of a twitch. His record's not that good. Borjas is very, very tough. So it's not a bad pick. And I believe he's the underdog if I remember correctly. Again, I didn't put a bet on him either. Show those moldy bad boys. No. No, I'm not. But I will get my cock out later, so stay tuned for that. Get your microscopes out. Or your telescopes even. Quite hard to find. Someone's a little cranky this morning. Do you know, I am a morning person, to be fair. This is kind of good practice for me. I'm back at work next week, finally. I've got Waldo as an underdog, a little sprinkle on the. Yeah. I think he's gonna get chinned. I don't think he's very good. I just signed up for Silky Pajamas before last cut. Silky Pajamas is a great community. Maybe that Aspinall KO did something. I think he's been all right since then. I think to be honest, yeah, that was more of a firefight. I think the Volkov loss was more telling. Have you considered teeth whitening strips? Why do I need those? What are you trying to say? Do you work for a teeth whitening strip company? Is this what it is? I had a Prime salesman in here a couple of months ago. Just send the link and get it over with. I certainly don't feel sensitive about it, and I'm not going to be purchasing any. Do I get any discount for the first batch? I got a couple of 0-calorie Boston cream donuts with my. There's no such thing as a 0-calorie Boston cream donut cheddar. This is what turned you into a fucking round, spherical bastard in the first place. You gullibly being told that, "Don't worry, mate, this is no sugar. This is fat-free." And then just scoff, scoff, scoff. I mean, you're a fat legend, but just put the cakes down, man. Now that Cheddarhead is saying that he agrees with my picks, I'm slightly concerned. Cheddarhead is a very hit and miss type character. I appreciate the critique, Brad. Thank you very much. No, I'm pretty sure you've gone from it's 0 calories to I'm pretty sure. Bro gonna be built like Waldo. Cheddarhead is a fat legend. He is. Cheddarhead is as round as he is tall, or as wide as he is tall, as we like to say. Hey Frankie, hope all is well. Ready for the fights? I am locked and loaded, sir. How you doing, Tone? Hope you're well. Tone, can you clarify for me where you're from? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure you've told me before. I'm only down a few thousands this summer. Well, you're balling, so you can afford it. A 0-calorie donut would be too good to be true. The thing is, yeah, if you believe it, I don't think the fights start in 5 hours. I think it starts in an hour and 15 minutes. Unless I'm very, very wrong. Let me double check this. Maybe I'm incorrect. I could be wrong. Apologies for the sniffling, but you know, it can't be helped. Why has it gone on to Formula One? Hang on a second. I need to double check this. You're from Western New York, fair enough. All right, so the first fight, in fact, starts at 8:10 in the morning, which is in about 2 hours. So the likelihood of me hanging around until then are very slim, but let's see. Sup, fucker? How you doing, Idaho? Fight start in 2 hours. There you go. It's 1 a.m. I thought they start morning standard Eastern time. Nah. I think if you're in the East, you're looking at about 2 a.m., I think. I actually fell for the 0-calorie cooking sprays, but then realized they have like 3,000 plus servings in a can. Everything has a cost. My belief here is that anything that tastes good has a cost to it. But it's like yeah. It's a well-known thing. If you don't want to be a fat cunt, just make sure you have a calorie deficit or as close to one as possible. Indulge yourself, but just don't go too far. You know? See, I get over the problem by the reason I stay as beautifully slim as you can see before you is I pretty much eat whatever I want, and then I fast 2 days a week, sometimes more. Did you see the Netanyahu cabinet member caught trying to do children in Vegas? I didn't. There's too many stories about nonsense out there right now. It's got to the point here where it's not even shocking anymore. You know, that's the trouble. We're getting close to an age here where nonsense is just a regular thing. It's going to be seen as like, when somebody like grapes a woman, it's going to be seen in the same category at some point because there's too many people out there doing that. I remember when like diddling kids was like a rarity. Now everyone's doing it. Tone K, no, I didn't know they televised Bears games. I didn't realize the American football season had started again. It's a high-ranking member of Israel's government. I mean, are we shocked? I'll be honest with you, yeah, I don't hate like the Jewish faith, but my experience of Jewish people is that they are unbelievably arrogant people. Any group of people that think they're above others, it's a red flag in my book. Frankie, football is starting very soon. I might jump on it this year. I kind of have a very, like, fleeting relationship with American football. I jump on it every so often. Because I mean, to be fair, like, I do enjoy it, yeah. My one criticism of American football is all the breaks. It's my criticism of American sport in general, really. There's just too much fucking posturing. White people are literally above others. Exactly. Exactly. I'm joking. It's preseason, but a great game tonight. The thing is with those I'm amazed that they have I know that preseason games are necessary, but in a game like American football, it's like it's so high impact and dangerous. I'm amazed that it isn't toned down a little bit, but they seem to go because I guess you get players in there who are trying to obviously earn their spot for the season. Lie to me straight and tell me Charles Johnson has a chance. He does have a chance. He does have a chance. That's another one that I'm not betting on. I like Lona Kavanagh. He's obviously half Chinese and English, which I can relate to because all my children are half Chinese and half English or half Irish. I don't like the level of competition that he's had, and he's made every single fight hard work. For me, Charles Johnson is the value pick. I'm not betting on any of them, on either of them, because I think it's going to be a very close fight. But if I was going to bet on it, having Charles Johnson as such a massive favorite, I'd go for him. By the way, if you're new to the channel, please do sub, hit a fucking like. That would be much appreciated. I don't know how many likes I have right now, but I'm assuming it's not good. Yes, this is a savage fight for Lona Kavanagh. I agree. I don't think he should be a bigger favorite as he is. He's like a 3-1 favorite. That's mad to me. I think Lona Kavanagh is very, very good. I think he's very good. But Charles Johnson for me was fighter of the year last year. Not Ilia Topuria, not fucking Alex Pereira or whoever. He won 5 fights against good competition, 5 in a row. He had the most busy year. He's a difficult fight for anyone. Sometimes he can be a little bit slow to get going, but he understands range, and when he gets into a flow state, he can be very, very tricky. I do think Lona Kavanagh is going to win, but I think it's going to be a very close decision. And anyone who's better at betting him at -300 or whatever it is going to be squeaky bum time when it gets to the judges' scorecards being read out. In my opinion, I can see that going split, and people being like, "Oh, I don't know." You're going to be puckering your butthole when that decision comes in. I'll put it that way. I think Charles Johnson is a live dog. You're more genetically similar to your white neighbor than your half Chinese children, by the way. Well, I am white, you cunt. I'm actually Irish. Hence the beauty of this structure you see before you. Lona doesn't have the grappling to keep him down. I think he'll get him down from time to time, but whether he can keep him down, I'm not convinced. Every fight I've seen Lona, and his name's Lona. I mean, that's just what are you doing? What your parents wanted you to get beat up at school, which probably explains why he's decent at fighting. He probably got beat up every day. You ever stick your Lona in her Kavanaugh? Very nice. Puckering butthole MMA. I mean, you guys had the chance. You picked Fight Night Frankie. You should have gone with Anne Frank MMA. It was a golden opportunity. You had a golden opportunity to give this channel a fucked up name and you all blew it. Pereira should KO Dorcas easy, right? Yes, Pereira's going to knock his head off. Dorcas tends to win by sub, which is very possible if Pereira gasses out. But I don't like Dorcas's chin. I don't like the little piggy's chin. I think he's going to get smashed. I think Pereira's going to win in the first round. And Frank MMA is amazing. This is what I was so gutted when that wasn't picked. Vaginal Canal MMA. Yeah, that would have been apt. Adolf Hitler MMA. I mean, that's a little bit too on the nose for me. Vic Vulva MMA. I went to school with an absolutely awful smelling Syrian girl named Najua. It was pronounced nausea. That's unfortunate. She would literally leave her. If there's one thing I don't like, it's bad hygiene. But as Idaho said, did you hit, bro? Because it sounds like you got up close and personal. There's nothing worse for me than somebody that stinks and has like shit breath. It's bad. Disgusting hygiene. Like I am the kind of guy. I'm so involved in the game. Now, I know some of you dirty fuckers. Like you'll hook up with a chick, yeah, and her breath is kicking, yeah, and you'll think, fuck it, I'll just stick. I'll ride through it. I'll stick my dick in there and just I'll power through. As soon as I smell any kind of bad anything, you're going home. You're out on the street. I saw Dorcas on my Twitter timeline every day begging the UFC to sign him back. I can't wait for him to get KO'd the fuck out. And Salsa Boy going down will make my week. I think you're gonna have a good week. I think you're gonna have a good time. I'm expecting those to come through. The funny thing is, yeah, with Chris Dorcas, we all know that Chris Dorcas used to be a cop, right? But they don't stick. They don't. But I mean, here's the thing, yeah. Like, there's body odor smell, which is bad. Having disgusting breath is the worst thing to me. The worst. I'm not even playing. I lost my virginity to a fish market. I've had experiences like that before. I don't want to get into this because you know how I do. Once I start talking about vagina, everything goes south. Lona has that weird haircut. Yeah, anyone that has a Chinese parent's gonna have to go through one or two dodgy haircuts. His mum probably still cuts his hair. 100%. Have you all seen that Ibiza final boss meme? Lona Kavanagh has a little bit of that going on. His mum definitely cuts his hair. But yeah, Chris Dorcas, as I was saying, he used to be a cop. And then he retired from the police or he quit the police force to be a full-time fighter. And then he went on a free fight losing streak and got cut. Which is worse, bad breath or bad body odor? 100% bad breath. 100% bad breath. I mean, body odor, I mean, obviously you don't want either. But it smells like someone's taken a shit in their mouth. There's nothing worse. Nothing worse than bad breath. It's not even a contest. I've literally had situations, yeah, where I've met a chick at a bar or whatever, gone home, and then she's talking to me, and I can literally see stink waves flying in my direction, and I've literally gone, "Can you go to the bathroom and brush your teeth? Like you stink." And then literally, the person has brushed their teeth. I've supervised. I've gone that deep, explaining how to do the motions and shit, and then they've come out, and their breath still stinks. And I'm like, I've seen that. With body odor, scrub yourself, you tramp. Shove some gum in a pie hole. But this is what I'm saying, Cheddar. There are some breath out there, yeah, that is undefeated. I could literally see cartoon stink waves floating towards me. It's the worst. At my BJJ gym, there was once this dude who had very bad breath problem. Honestly, it's the worst thing to deal with. There was a woman that I used to work with, yeah, who was like, she was like, I had like an assistant, yeah, and she went on sabbatical, and they kept bringing me these different fucking bitches, yeah, to be my assistant because I couldn't find a permanent one. And there was this one woman who literally had the worst breath I've ever. And then she kept getting really familiar with me and getting like close to me. And because it was a work thing, yeah, I didn't have the heart to say to her, like, "You're disgusting, like, get the fuck away from me." So I got her fired. A true story. And the worst part was that he was a very strong dude, and I'm a smaller guy. Yeah, John Dong, that's a nightmare. That's my idea of hell. Yeah, you gotta brush the tongue. My teeth, my mouth, my hygiene in general is exceptional. Nobody's ever been able to say to me, "That's a stinky cunt right there." Frankie got the best live streams. I've do you know what? Yeah, there's just something there's just something wrong with me, and we all know it. You just like watching me and seeing me crash out about various stupid things that mean nothing. Frankie, how can we become better live streamers? Basically, you need to go back in time and just convince your mum to drop you on the head multiple times. That's the way to do it. Eat some paint chips, live near a lead factory. I mean, you can still do that, but you look like a good boy. I'm not a good boy. Some people, that's a trigger for people. You know, when people call them a good boy, it's not really a trigger for me. I wouldn't say it's a boner inducer either. Frank promotes dental hygiene, 100%. I'm all about dental hygiene. Just don't be a smelly little spastic. And I'll be honest with you boys here. That's why I never nut in a woman's mouth. What's the design on your shirt? You want to have a good look? Not to flex or anything. I'll stand up for you quickly. This is one of my favorite shirts. I only wear it on special occasions. My hygiene is exceptional. I'm a beautiful smelling bastard. Sorry. How you doing? How you doing, Captain? How you doing, Captain Raff? Yeah, I never nut in a girl's mouth. Just all over her face. No, I don't. I'm not saying I've never done it. Let's not be stupid now. I'm saying that as a general rule of thumb, I don't do it. All over the face, mate. That's how you do it. Put that population pudding where it belongs, away from the population pool. I'm gonna go shower and floss and brush my teeth. Y'all behave. This is. I didn't expect this to become a dental hygiene. Yeah, I've got some pretty good. I mean, my sense of fashion isn't really. I don't really have a sense of fashion. I just wear what I'm very comfortable in my own. It's got to be in the hair. Got to be in the hair. 100%. You've got to have them questioning their life choices when they go to the bathroom and they see like just their hair just gunked out and they're literally pulling your spunk out of there. Idaho on the titties. I told you guys, yeah. I'm not. Why do I always go down this route? I deeply apologize. This is not my fault. Yeah, this is you. This is your. This is your fucking doing. Every single time. Yeah, I don't resort to this. Yeah, it's you lot. But yeah, as I was saying. Yeah, just don't be a smelly cunt. That's all I'm saying. Wash your asses. Busty or perky? That's a good question. I've got room in my life for both. I'm greedy. I told you though, yeah, I'm more of an ass man. Face first, ass second. Personality isn't on the list because you ain't gonna be around long enough to demonstrate it to me. Orale Vato, what happened to your shirt? It looked like the Abula make it from tortilla blanket, Gwe. Listen, you can make fun of my teeth, yeah, and my hygiene and everything else. Don't make fun of my goated t-shirt, yeah, you cunt. Choose one. No, I see, because you can have busty and like saggy. Gotta go with perky. I like a little bit of firmness to my sweater meat. Yes, peaches all the way. Vamos Ribovics gets it. Anyone who's been in the game and understands the game is an arse man. How much areola on the titty do you prefer? What do you mean by areola? I've suddenly been exposed as that. I'm quite legs are quite important, I guess. I guess this is what we've descended to now. The viewership is going to crash around here any second, and I'm blaming you lot. Anyway, I'm very superficial when it comes to my physical preferences. I'll put it that way. I don't like women who are overly big, and I don't like women who overly yap. Machua likes dinner play areolas. I was waiting for somebody to do the Am I the only one that doesn't understand the foot fetish? Yeah, I fucking foot fetish people are creeps. They're weird creeps. Especially people that like. Here's the thing. I've said this in live streams before, but seeing as you're a newbie around here, I'm just gonna lay it down one more time just to be clear. If a woman has disgustingly ugly feet, it's a deal breaker for me. However, even if you've got nice feet, I'm not gonna do anything with them. I just don't want to glance down every so often and see some hooves on you, some troughs. Do you know what I mean? I don't like anything that is overly. I don't like anything like overly big. That sounded wrong. But you know what I'm saying? Feet are generally weird. How the fuck do you spell eloquently? Um, that's not. It's Eloquantly. Eloquent. It's a word I enjoy. I am slightly dyslexic, so don't believe me. Undiagnosed, but still there. Giant boobs are where it's at, bro. I mean, I'm not against it, but same. No foot fetish, but feet gotta be nice though. 100%. Did I say A? I'm not a very good speller. Do you like how I said it very, very confidently as well? It's how Lane spelled it. Magugu, go back to school. We'll do a reality show about you. Eloquent in the room. How you doing, Ron and Locke? I saw you earlier. How you doing, bro? Sorry, I should have acknowledged you earlier. The kind that could knock someone out if she turns too fast. I mean, I like medium-sized sweater meat. I don't like overly big because what happens is they tend to sag. I'm not into sagging. I think like a high range double B is probably where it's at. Have you watched the movie Bad Words of Jason Bateman? I haven't. I have not. I don't really have time. Y'all are scared. Are you saying we're intimidated by massive tits? Is that what you're saying? Is this like an alpha problem? Do not fear big boobs. Got the Saigon sniffle. That's correct, bro. That's exactly what it is. To be fair though, yeah, I'm gonna be real. I did get it when I came home. Yeah, they do be sagging eventually, and they can sag, yeah, in between meetings. Like you can meet a large-breasted woman on a Monday, and then she comes back on a Wednesday, and you're like, "What the fuck happened?" And it's just they suddenly just it's inevitable. We need to put all our scientific research and resources into fixing sagging boobs. I mean, they do have a solution for it. Bad Words was a fun movie. I'll check it out. I tried to watch. I'd rather have flat cherries than flat peaches. Vamos, you are welcome to this channel anytime. That is a legendary thing to say. This is going to sound a little bit wrong, so stick with me. I prefer a woman that's kind of petite but curvy. I'm not into big shit. I'm only 5'8", so I don't like big bitches. Frankie, I'm talking about the kind of spill and burst out of the low cut crop top. I mean, yeah, I mean, of course. Of course. This channel is disgusting. Every time I say I'll check that out to my chat, I never do. I'm a liar and I'm a fraud. No, I often take people's recommendations. Like Lane told me to watch Happy Gilmore 2, and that's 2 hours of my life that I'm never gonna get back. More fatties for me. Fat girls are more grateful, I'll tell you that. I like the Alicia Keys build, pear-shaped. I'm the same. I like that hourglass cup, but I like a small, like, petite, but then there's pop, and I like everything relatively small. Now that makes me sound a little bit noncy, I recognize that. Can't be avoided, unfortunately. It's just the truth. I like big ladies. I respect that. Here's the thing, yeah, like, it's a very tapestry we have. Francie, do you like short women or tall women or ladyboys? Despite the various rumors going around, I've never been with a ladyboy. And I never would. I'm not into cock, believe it or not. I have no the thing is, yeah, I envy people that kind of are into everything, who are kind of willing to go to a bar and, you know, I mean, you shouldn't be fucking women at bars anyway, but I envy people that like men and women. You've got infinite choices. Unfortunately, I'm just not a sausage enthusiast. I could just never bring myself to do it. Vagina is just too wonderful. Lona is nasty. I still don't understand where that name has come from. I think Lona Kavanaugh is a bad bet tonight. And it's not because I don't think he's going to win, but I think if he does win, he's going to scrape it. And at those odds, like I said, the last thing you want is to be going to the judges' scorecards and thinking, please, 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 on someone who's minus 300. If someone's minus 300, you need to get to the end of the scorecard and be like, he's definitely won. That's what you need. You've only gone to bars on 5 occasions. Picking up women in bars is a degenerate practice. I think Johnson is going down. I don't blame you, Tone. I do not blame you. I think Johnson's probably gonna lose, but it's way too close. For me, if the odds should be more even on that one. I'd have Lona as maybe like a slight favorite, but not at minus 300. That's bananas, mate. I can't endorse that. I strongly advise you against putting Lona in any. Yeah, but tall women or I like short women. Westy, you've known me for nearly 3 years. You know how I get down. I am 5'3" and under. Don't give a fuck. Call me a nonce. I don't care. I like to feel like a giant in there. You feel me? And I'm man enough to admit that. Would you rather be named Lona or fuck that bitch? Fuck that bitch. Obviously. If you're gonna come in here, Mr. C, let's not ask stupid questions, yeah? Rongju is lock. Frankie is live for Black Combat. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm live for Black Combat. That's why I'm here. That's exactly why I'm here. I know exactly what that is. Black Combat. Yeah. Been a fan for years. Don't take the piss out of my London accent. At least I don't like you gotta remember, yeah, I come from a country where they don't say free, they say tree. So I got away with that. No, Isha, I wasn't talking about titties, they're lying. They're lying. I wasn't. We weren't talking about titties. We don't do that around here. They're lying. This is purely mature chat around here. I only talk about serious things. Kayla Harrison or Amanda Nunes? Kayla Harrison, obviously. I mean, you're gay in both situations. But Kayla Harrison has a somewhat pleasant face at times. She can scrub up all right. Whereas Amanda Nunes is just Amanda Nunes has if Amanda Nunes was here, she would have the biggest dick in this chat. Wait, what did I miss? You missed absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, mate. You can guarantee if you can turn up at any point in a Frankie stream and you would have achieved nothing, you would have learned nothing, and you would have missed nothing. It's the beauty of being here. Isha, Frankie won't stop its titty debates of this guy. I mean, I always complain about it and then I indulge in it. I'm a hypocrite. When you have sex belly to belly with a woman, are you vocal or are you just breathing like a dog? I don't breathe like a dog. Idaho, it has to come out naturally, you bellend. Say, no, I'm not. Aluminum. I've learned my lesson. But as I've said multiple times, aluminum and aluminium are different things. I'm not going down this road again with you, Lane. So you're saying Amanda Nunes would be the first girl you'd pull from your own chat? Giuliano, let's not get into butt stuff. Let's not get into who's into butt stuff around here. Because whereas people joke about how I'm into butt stuff, we know you're into butt stuff. All right, bro? So fucking calm yourself down, yeah? People be scared to be loud and banging the shit. No, the thing is, yeah, Idaho, yeah, here's the thing, yeah, that people don't recognize, yeah. I don't make stupid noises or grunt or breathe like a fucking dog. I'm psychological with this shit. Because women are very emotional creatures, or at least they think they are. And yes, tits are great. Tits are fantastic. We all agree. The psychological breakdown doesn't just end once the panties are off. All right? The game continues the entire time. Your words are just as erotic as the girth and skill set of your penis. If you don't understand that, you're a fucking. I just yell superiors. Do you know what, City Isha? I actually believe that. I actually believe that. How you doing, TM? The event starts in about 1.5 hours. About 1.5 hours. I woke up too early and fucked up. I'm an English major. The lips matter. Of course they do. Of course they do. We're all focusing on the wrong things here. You know? Lips definitely matter, but lips don't guarantee. They don't guarantee a good. They don't guarantee a skillful situation. However, the chances definitely go up. No worries, bro. Show me a pretty bitch with no lips. I mean, I think a woman can look good without overly full lips. You're the modern day James Joyce, a real worse. Listen, yeah, Mr. C, yeah, I am a literature professor, and I'm gonna be real with you, yeah. Even I cannot enjoy James Joyce, and that's my countryman. That guy is a cunt, or was a cunt. And every single time I have to study it or present a unit of his, I hate it. What a waffling cunt. I feel like he was deliberately trying to confuse people, and he succeeded. This is like the opposite. This is the exact opposite of a James Joyce situation. This is dumbed down to the extreme. Frankie has tenure. I do. I fucking do. It's almost got to the point, yeah, where strangely enough, yeah, I'm like a veteran round here. And I've only been doing this for about 2 and a bit years. if you aren't a Frankie Nutrider at this point, what have you been doing with your time? Frankie, do you know who Superlek is? Of course I do. I watch one from every now and then. I've met Superlek. In fact, hang on a second. Do you know, I can't be bothered. I got him to sign like a thing for me, and I bought my one T-shirt from a gift shop when I met him at the Lumpini Stadium. Frankie, do you know who Superwet is? Oh my god. All right, Frankie, I've got to get my shit set up for Black Combat. Stoked to see you live. Shout out to you, bro. I'll definitely try and swing by at some point. I'm gonna hang out for like an hour or so. But if you're watching, what was it called again? Black Combat, which is a great fucking name. I met Superlek, yeah, I did, and he signed something for me. I didn't train with him. My sister trained with him, but she's an amateur kickboxer, and I was there when she trained with him. The thing is though, yeah, he is a little bit like his I'll say this about Superlek, yeah. His manager is a proper scumbag. Superlek's a very chill, like down to earth person, but his management is not the best. And I'll be honest, yeah, that doesn't reflect on him that well. I think he kind of uses his manager as a shield a little bit. I hate you, Frankie. No, you don't. You fucking you love me long time. I know you do. Gotta stop sniffling. Hey, bro, how's it going, Atomic? I haven't seen you around for a minute. How you doing? Fuck. You must love teaching Ernest Hemingway. He cuts the shit. Um, we don't really do a lot of English literature units. Sorry, American literature units, or I certainly don't. I do a lot of like dystopian and post-war literature and war literature. Those are my jams. I prefer like more contemporary stuff. I mean, I can barely speak the modern language as it is. I don't like when it gets confusing. Like, I have come to appreciate Shakespeare more over the years, but anyway, you ever put your Ernest in her Hemingway? You could play this game all day fucking long. Frankie prefers Samuel Beckett. Again, just it's mundane, isn't it? Samuel Beckett is another one that like I've been to a lot of Samuel Beckett plays, and the sense of just wanting to jump off the balcony at that moment overwhelms me. You fucks with poetry, Frankie. Unfortunately, I have to. Unfortunately, I have to. It's one of the units that we do. It's part of the curriculum, so we have to do it. Poetry is very much the way that I see poetry, yeah, is the same way that I see art. You know how art is like, oh, it's art because you can interpret it a certain way. That's the problem I have with a lot of poetry. I feel like a lot of poets are straight up retarded, and then people study them and they act like, oh, they did this for this particular reason. It's like, no, the guy's just a retard. Or they try to infer meaning in something where there isn't. But that's the beautiful thing about teaching literature. If you can justify meaning in something, it's more important than if the meaning was intentionally supposed to be there in the first place. Yeah, Idaho, I'm not very cultured. So like I used to go to a lot of museums and art galleries and stuff with the mother of my children. And I'll be honest, I fucking hated it. I want to go in there 20 minutes, and I don't even want to be in there at all, but you know, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. And the idea of going in somewhere and staring at something and pretending to find it profound and interesting, I don't fuck with that anymore. I'm not cultured and I don't care. I don't care about not being sophisticated. And I think people they're just pretentious and pretending to be. Yeah, the Campbell soup guy. Don't even get me started. And the thing is, yeah, my oldest daughter is an artist and she's a really good one. So your baby mom's is into art. She's into culture in general. She considers herself to be sophisticated. Hey, what do you think of Brian Battle? I did not know he got released. I heard he's been coming in looking like a fat fuck though. So wasn't he supposed to be fighting recently, or did he get a fight cancelled? He's obviously had problems with his weight. But if you look at Andy Warhol, if you look at Brian Battle had the Jared Cannonier problem, where like he used to be fucking enormous, and the Khalil Roundtree problem. He's not. He's a puff pastry away from completely losing control, and that's the obvious control. What about ancient architecture? I am more appreciative of architecture. Like when I went to Barcelona recently, I'm a big fan of Gaudi. You can appreciate that, and obviously I went to the I've been to the La Familia twice, and it is an architectural marvel. But again, and I appreciate a good architectural structure. I do. However, I'm not that into it. Missed weight again at middleweight. I mean, yeah, I mean, come on, mate. If you're a professional fighter and you can't make weight, you're the dumbest cunt on earth. It's a shame with Battle though, because he definitely had potential. He was ranked, wasn't he? I suspect, yeah. This is the thing with the UFC, yeah. You can never tell, yeah, if missing weight is the only thing. You can never tell. Because I think with Makayev, there were more reasons as to why they got rid of him. He might have just been a cunt. The thing is that with Brian Battle, he comes out and says like quite a lot of controversial stuff as well, and you know that the UFC aren't really behind that. They used to love it back in the day when they were down and dirty in the mud with everyone, but they don't appreciate people saying things politically, and Brian Battle has a habit of doing that. Brian Battle got signed to Dirty Boxing allegedly. I don't like that for him. I mean, I don't know. He might do all right. Outside of the Campbell soup shit, Andy Warhol is kind of a beast. He's dope. There was a retrospective on his work in DC. Brian Battle robbed Randy Brown. I had that close. I bet on Brian Battle in that fight, and it was the old puckered arsehole situation we were talking about earlier. I was genuinely concerned. So you might have a point. The fact that I bet on him and I was like, ugh, I don't know, means you're probably correct. So fair play. Brian Battle was one of my top 10. I'm done with him after last week. I've always liked Brian, but I didn't like him when he was on Tough, but when he entered the UFC, I kind of had respect for him. He's one of those guys who's kind of like, drag you to the pits of hell type, and I like those kind of fighters. That's why I've always been a big fan of Fluffy Hernandez. It's like you look at him and he looks like he's not an athlete, and then when you watch him fight, you're thinking this guy is not very good, but then you can see his opponent looking over at him and being like, you can see them drowning. And Brian Battle was very good at that. But to be fair, yeah, the way he got absolutely dismantled by Fakhretdinov was not a good sign, because Fakhretdinov is not as good as we initially thought he was. Andy Warhol splatters paint on a canvas and goes, genius. This is the issue that I have with art in general. Art is very pretentious, and it always has been. And I don't like anything that you can't put like an intrinsic value on. And with art, you can't really do that. It's more the whatever a cunt is willing to pay for it type situation. It's like, oh, this cum stain on the wall is an expression of my repressed childhood where I was molested. It's like, I don't know why that example came to my mind first of all. Cut that. Listen to an Andy Warhol interview. He's funny as fuck. I mean, I'm not saying that Andy Warhol just splatters shit. I don't know enough about him to say one way or another. Hernandez delivered justice for JP Buys. JP Buys, yeah, the JP Buys situation is a bit. Apparently, he was a cuck the whole time. It was like a green card marriage. Brian Battle was like my favorite fighter, dude. I'm so bummed. Like, what? Yeah, Brian Battle was secretly funny, mate. It's like when what do you call it? With Fluffy, yeah. Nobody appreciated Fluffy until he beat up Roman Dolidze. There's nothing more I like in a fighter, yeah, that when, like I said, when you see the opponent opposite and you can see they're looking at the person and thinking, how am I losing to you? And you can see them sinking more and more into the quicksand. I love it. Thank you, Macho. Whenever you compliment me, I feel an extra special tingle in my ball sack. I'll be real with you. A Macho compliment still gets me stiff. Maximum Jones. People get attached to the weirdest nothing fires. I think it's more it's like with I don't know, man. I quite like that about the game. You get like sometimes you just get an attachment to somebody. It's like natural. I quite like that about fighting. It's like how I the first time I saw Manel Cap, I was like, I love this little motherfucker. And then I can understand though why people think he's a vicious little prick and a horrible little cunt. I love him. It's what makes the world so interesting, you know? I think with Rosenstruik, the more I think with Rosenstruik, it was more like the lack of justice, I think is what caused a lot of people to his side. Like he was one of those people that definitely didn't deserve to get cut. He said a funny thing, but whatever works for you, innit? It's like little sparks of personality are everything in this game, you know? Cap is a pull-out merchant. I disagree with you not in the AM. If you look at all the fights of his that have been cancelled, I think he's had 10 fight cancellations. He's responsible for 3 of them. Douglas De Silva de Andrade. Do you think Hamzat's performance was a one-off, or is his title reign gonna? There's not gonna be a title reign. Hamzat Chimaev is gonna continue to fight once a year, and everyone who was riding his ballsack is gonna be upset that he is the champion. I'm telling you now. I've got nothing against Hamzat. Well, I do, but like, I'm more than happy for him to be champion if he's active, but he's not gonna be. We know this. He's already talking about fighting in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, he's not gonna do that. He's not fighting again this year. We will see him again this time next year. Watch. I give him like at least 9 months before he fights again. He's got enough money and he can make enough money just being the champion now. That carries a lot of weight. It gives you opportunities. Manel Cap is the pull-out goat. I have to disagree with you, man. Again, if you look through all of the reasons, I think out of the 10, he might be responsible for it's less than 50%. The only thing I would say was the funny. I didn't realize this at the time. When Chimaev turned to Dana White, and I don't know if you guys have seen this. Some of you, I assume you have. When Chimaev turned to Dana White and went, "Get me my money, brother. I don't care about this shit belt." That was the coldest thing I've ever seen someone say. Yeah, Hamzat Chimaev has represented about 10 different nations at this point. Again, that's a red flag to me. Yeah, Paulo Costa is the pull-out goat, but Paulo Costa's at least funny. Yeah, it was the UAE. He stuck his mast into the UAE now. I mean, he's been Swedish, he's been Russian, he's been Chechnyan. He's gone through everything. Chimaev can't be trusted. The guy definitely has about 12 passports and can't use any of them. Rosenstruik getting cut is the dumbest shit the UFC has done. It wasn't even the dumbest thing they'd done that week. I like Rosenstruik, but did you see Tapology as the Chinese flag next to Lona? He'll definitely walk out with it if he's smart. I mean, he's got Chinese mother. He's half Chinese. He's allowed to do that. Will they strip Hamzat if he fights once a year? Definitely not. Definitely not. Hamzat's going to end up being champion for 2 years, and he's going to fight once in that time, maybe twice. And then he'll get submitted by like a chest infection. With Chimaev, yeah, it's all about he's gonna avoid anyone that can drag him into deep water like the plague. He won't fight a fluffy. Um, I don't think he'll. I don't think he'll fight a Mavov either. Anyone that can drag him into. I'm more thinking fluffy. He's gonna avoid that fluffy fight like the plague. I genuinely think Fluffy would beat him. Everyone tear me to shreds for saying that, but remember, you heard it here first. It's a red flag for me. Well, it's actually a red, green, and black flag. I actually like that flag. I'm a big fan of the Middle East. I know you don't know this, Mr. C, because I can't remember how long you've been in here. You might have been under a different name. But I used to live in Qatar and I spent a lot of time in the Middle East. I was there for like 2 years and I visited everywhere. It's actually an area of the world that I've got a lot of time for. Yeah, the common cold is going to end up being the middleweight champion. It's going to be the first, like, you know, it's going to be the first non-human champion. Yeah, but Idaho, I don't subscribe to that, but like, again, people get attracted to people for very different reasons, or they get behind people for very different reasons. Yeah, it was in France when he did. That's what he did. It was the French that you went off on. But I mean, people have liked people for stupider reasons. What do you think's a good reason for people getting behind somebody? Yeah, but people like that. He said faggots after a night on the A. Wow, that was so cool. He's my favorite. He's my favorite fitter, bro. I told Idaho that Middle Eastern food is bomb, and he called it goop. I'll tell you something, yeah. When I lived in the Middle East, yeah, they put so much sugar in their shit. Everything is sugary. When I went there, yeah, I was shredded. I haven't had abs since I left the Middle East. I went there shredded to fuck, and I was just eating normal stuff. I gained like 2 stone in about 6 months there, and it built on me slowly. The rate of obesity in those nations is disgraceful. And don't even get me started on their women. Their women are freaks, and their men are freaks as well. I've told stories about this in the past, but I've been Arab men are fucking disgusting. I was working as a teacher when I was there, and I got propositioned by a woman who was one of the parents of my students, little plump woman. I remember I was standing outside the school one day smoking a cigarette, and she came up to me and she was like, "Oh, you were Mohammed's teacher. Can I get your," like she asked, I think I was using WeChat or WhatsApp or something. It wasn't it was like WeChat or Line. I think it was WeChat. And she gave me a WeChat number. And then she was talking to me for like an hour saying, "Oh, how's Mohammed doing? Blah blah blah," giving it the simple talk. And then out of nowhere she went, "Oh, do you want to see a picture of me?" And I was thinking, I went, I said something like, "Oh yeah, yeah, if you want." And then she sent me a picture of the most saggy tits I've ever seen in my life. And then her husband contacted me and tried to get me involved in some kind of triangle. Because all Arab men, yeah, in case you don't know this, yeah, Arab men that live in the country, yeah, they think that all Western men are bisexual. They think that. And they are all secretly fucking homos as well. I was propositioned multiple times by Arab men. It was gross. And Arab women as well. Thankfully, it was mostly Arab women. Anyway, that was quite a sidetrack. Anyway, back to. But yeah, to get back to the see, you said Middle Eastern food is bomb, and I just went on a fucking rampage there without even that was the ramble of a lifetime. Apologize. Again, the only thing that matters is what happens in the cage. Untrue. Untrue. I know you think you sound like a hardcore purist now, And all power to you. I disagree with that. Fucking card starts in an hour. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I think I might make it, you know. I think I might hang out here until it starts. No, Lane, they don't, you know. They don't. They're all weird. They're all weird, man. They are. They're fucking weirdos. I met some really cool, like, some of the Qataris I met are fucking cool as well. Like, there was another parent that I met, yeah, some dude, yeah, and he had a Ferrari. And he used to pay me, like, exorbitant amounts of money to teach his Mongoloid child. I feel bad about saying that because his child was sweet, he was just clearly inbred. But the dad was cool, man. We used to hang out, like, he was a good lad. Frankie, you're breaking my heart, mate. What have I done now? They believe if they give and receive and don't receive, it's not gay. I'm telling you, man, it ain't even that. Arabs, yeah, I'm not talking about Muslims. Let me be very specific here. I'm talking about Arabs here. They are the most degenerate scumbags I've ever met. Because they're so repressed, yeah. What they do is you find, yeah, like when I was in Nam, yeah, I met two Saudi Arabian dudes there, and they were up to their fucking eyeballs in clunge. And one of them definitely had what looked like a very suspicious looking female on his arm. She was real husky, do you know what I'm saying? And he was either really dumb or he knew what the get down was. Damn it, Frankie, that's the thing. I should have done a panel, yeah, but I didn't, to be honest, yeah, I didn't think anyone was going to turn up today. Because it's obviously really late for you cunts, and I know how you Americans like your sleepy sleep. I know you like your naps. So I was expecting it to be dead zone tonight. I might have to go on at 12 o'clock more often. What is clunge? Clunge is vagina, sir. Clunge. But yeah, I bumped into these two. What was his? Hang on a second, because he gave me his number as well. What was the guy's name? Hang on. Where is it? Wait a second. No. Naif. Yeah, he was balls deep in clunge, that guy. And he had this little weedy guy with him. We're just talking about absolutely nothing, mate. You've missed nothing. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, mixed martial autist. That's a name I can get behind. We're just talking about general experiences. Is that what you wanted me to tell him? I thought all Arabs are Muslims. Yeah, no, they are, but I'm not talking about Muslims in general. I'm talking about how Arabs are disgusting people. So when I was saying Arabs, I want you to be. When I'm saying things about Arabs, I don't want you to think I'm talking about Muslims because I'm not. I'm talking about Arabs. And like I said, I have met some really cool Arabs, but a lot of them, when you get down underneath the surface, they're into some weird shit. Christianity and Judaism arise from the. I mean, all religion is a construct, isn't it? I'm not going to say it's bullshit. Who's Lex Friedman? I've heard the name before, but I can't. Oh, it's that cunt that has a podcast. No, I don't really look. That's racist, man. That is racist. That is absolutely. I look more. I mean, I look like Lex Friedman if he'd been on meth for a few years. I love weird shit. But yeah, I would definitely go back to the Middle East. I would. The money there is unbelievable. I made my career all my life. The life I have right now, owning my house, being in comfort. And it wasn't from getting bummed out by Arab men. It's just the salary there is really good. No tax. I've told you people multiple times, if you want to make a start in life and you're struggling, go to the Middle East. I don't know who Bradley Simpson is either. I'm not very culturally aware. Lex Friedman is a scientist that wears a suit, but is also a BJJ black belt under Gracie Barra. So that means he sucks. Oh, that started off so well. Do the women fuck with a hijab on? I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, they do. I mean, they usually take them off, but I've tried that. And I'm going to be honest, it was hot as fuck. I'm having flashbacks now. Yeah, you racist fucks. Lex Friedman taught a community college course at MIT, and now he refers to himself as an MIT scientist. Yeah, that's not the same thing. It's like when people do a summer course at Harvard, and then they say they went to Harvard. They're a Harvard alum. You're not cunt. Hijab smash. Absolutely. I've done it. I did it multiple times when I was over there. I'll be real, there's something very alluring about it. Hijab only. I got down with that. And this was before like the Mia Khalifa days when she made that a thing. Tino, you've turned up at I mean, there's not a right time to turn up around here. I'll be honest. How you doing, brother? We're close to the end of the window, bro. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Whether or not we're equipped for the season ahead, I don't know, but we're gonna make it. I just hope to Christ we beat the fucking pants off Liverpool on Monday. I need that. After the summer they've given us, they deserve a good thrashing. But I'm worried. I used to wear this Harvard shirt. Was a dope shirt. I don't think it was dope. But I could be wrong. I mean, you're a pretty dope cat, maybe. I took a poetry class in the summer, which technically makes me Maya Angelou. Oh, Matua, I've missed having you around here on the regular. How can you tell this guy at my gym is gay? I don't really have gaydar. I have sausage dar, which is like I can tell when a woman is packing a sausage underneath her skirt. His skirt. See what the world has done to us. Maybe you could provide some more information, mixed martial artist. I mean, if you think about it, yeah, it's a genius move. If you're gay and you don't know how to talk to men, be a wrestler, you know? And wear a very tight cup. Where you from, brother? I'm Irish, but I live in the UK. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Great night to be an Aussie fight fan. What time is it in the UK? It is currently 7 o'clock in the morning, and the fight card's going to be starting at 8. So I'm all for this. I am all for this. I'm fucking down for this. I've never heard of Mia Khalifa. Oh, Mia Khalifa is that slut, that absolute tart who got like thrown into the Now I'm not a porn watcher, but even I heard of this bitch. She's basically that woman who went viral for basically getting fucking rooted out by multiple dudes while wearing a hijab. Yeah, Idaho, you don't know anyone. I love that. Oh, Jenna Jameson, that's a classic. Do you like McGregor? I used to before he became an embarrassing cokehead. I especially haven't heard of Riley Reid. If you're gay and you don't know how to talk to men, be a wrestler. I think that's one of the best quotes I've ever come out with. Roll around a little bit, get a feel for the game. MMA or football? Um, I'll be honest with you, yeah, like I find football quite boring, but I grew up playing it, so I love it. I've been a football fan since I was 4 years old. Whereas with MMA, I've only really been into it for the last 13 years or so, and I'm an old cunt. So yeah. Surely we've all gooned to Mia in a hijab. I mean, of course. Frankie, are people born gay? I think they are, man. I think here's the thing, yeah. I think people can choose to be gay. I think they can. Why you would do that, I don't know. But I think there's a gay gene. I think there is. I'll be real. I think people can develop into that, and I think it becomes. I think depending on what a society is like, it becomes more apparent. But I think both are true. I'm with Mature on this one. I think you're born with it, and there's no avoiding it. But you can also, become polluted and influenced to become a fudge packer. How often do you go live? I usually go live about 3 times a week. Depends. So I usually go live on a Sunday, on a Saturday, and sometimes a Friday. Depends when I can be bothered. I'm not a real YouTuber. I just come on here to talk shit. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the pussy. Your favorite Premier League club? Unfortunately, Nanku, I support Newcastle United, and I have done since I was 9 years old. And the tragic thing about it is I chose them. I didn't live in Newcastle. I wasn't influenced into supporting Newcastle by a parent. I chose to do this to myself, and it's been a hard life. Um, there can't be a gay gene. I respectfully disagree. One time I did this. One time I did this house. 2 dudes lived there, and I was like, okay, normal dudes. Anyway, I saw this book on the coffee table that was like the gay man's Kama Sutra. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that that exists and ruining the rest of my weekend, you absolute cunt. Women can choose to be gay easier than men, in my opinion. I don't believe in, but here's the thing, Lane. Yeah, women can definitely be more open. Here's the thing: you can't unsuck a cock, right? You can't. You can unplay with some titties and see it as experimentation. Once you've had a dick in your mouth, there's no going back, or a dick in the ass, there's no going back. But women can fuck around like that. But as I've said multiple times on this channel, I don't believe in lesbians. I think they're a myth, and I think they're lying to themselves. At least with gay people, I can kind of understand it, or with gay men, I can kind of understand it. And I've said this multiple times. Forgive me for being a broken record, but I can get it. I get it. I was shocked, low key. I told my co-workers not to touch anything that might turn gay. Do we think it's a normal gene or a mutation? It could be. There are more men that are gay than women, however. I don't think there are many women that are truly purely gay though, because they're one ramrodding away from being back on the good side, on the side of the light. You feel me? The fact that lesbians need a fucking prosthesis, a phantom limb, in order to replicate what a man can do says it all. Yeah, can somebody look up this gay man's Kama Sutra? Do you guys have a word for gay, like cool British word for gay? Bender. I'm quite a good fan of Bender. We've got loads. We obviously invented faggot as well. I think faggot's too vicious though. Bender's kind of playful. Yeah, Idaho stole that copy. Yeah, of course I've seen Alien. I'm fucking old. Um, what am I missing? Sorry, there was something really interesting take. I know more, but this is the thing. I don't think there's ever. I've met loads of women who are like curious and bi, whatever. I've met very, very few straight up pure lesbians, and they're just confused fuckers. They are. Most pure lesbians just they do it from the basis of like a hatred of men. Your body is designed to get piped out by an organic organ. You feel me? No matter how much you lie to yourself, yeah, a fucking plastic ramrod is not going to get the job done. Sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble. Not that there's any dykes in here. Gay men are in it for the love of the game more often than not. Um, well, the thing is, yeah, I've had gay friends in the past, and that talk about the love of the game is absolutely right. There's nothing a gay man loves more, yeah, than convincing a straight guy to stray off the path. But the problem with that whole thesis is if you end up doing gay shit, it was in you. And these are just the facts. It's like I said, you can't undo that shit. I hate when people like say they experimented in college or whatever and they've been sucking dick or whatever. And then they go, "Oh no, I was just experimenting." I'm not like, no, you cannot unring that bell. Thoughts on Alien being a weird metaphor for like predation and graping, and also how the xenomorph is phallic in design. I love your mind. This is why you are just a regular and much needed member of my panel, because you're just a weird little cunt, aren't you? And I love you for it. Lesbians never had a man that could show them the world and treat them with kindness. Matua, don't get gay on us. Have you ever heard of the trend turned me gay stories? I have heard that. Again, it's an excuse, isn't it? It's like you get caught and you're like, "Oh, it's the trend." Nah, mate. And again, I'm saying this now, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm personally a bit grossed out by it and it's not for me, but I'm not judgmental to anyone who's gay. I used to have an irrational fear of like gay people, and I was very homophobic growing up, but I grew up around black people, as you can tell by my voice. I was the minority, and we had a very strong subculture of like homophobia. And apparently jerking off wasn't okay as well. And licking pussy was apparently a no-no. I've learned so much. You are not a professional in the game if you don't go scuba diving. There's another Frankie. Why are so many bodybuilders gay? It's the same way as like why are so many dancers gay? I think when people have like an over fascination with their own form. Well, if you think about it, yeah, with bodybuilders, they want to look physically perfect so they can view what they find aesthetically pleasing. So it makes sense. I'm not saying that all people who care about their bodies are secretly sausage munchers, but it tracks if you think about it. It really tracks. I'm gay, I like twinks. Is that why you turned up in my stream? Sorry to disappoint you, sir. I'm strictly a no entry zone. We can be boys and whatnot, but just, just had a brain freeze. Mingyang versus Walker. Who wins? Mingyang by brutal KO. Walker's going to get memed again. Could Walker win? Potentially. I don't think Mingyang's going to lose in front of his own people. He's going to have that Chinese sun energy. It's like a Superman thing. The yellow energy in the crowd is going to supercharge him, and he's going to knock Walker out. Walker's too dumb. Exit only. Exit only, Idaho. But yeah, I'm strictly a clunge enthusiast. I have been like accused of, because obviously I've spent a lot of time in Asia, and there's always an assumption that you're a sex tourist or like you get fucked in the ass. Neither of those things are true. I just like a good old time. Mixed martial artist is Qatari. Is that a fact? Mixed martial artist, where are you really from? Yeah, exit only is a, well, not necessarily flyweights, but definitely welterweights, which is essentially the same thing when you think about how big that cunt is. He's 6'6", man. I'm mad at you for not checking into the obvious undertones of Alien. I'll reconsider it when I watch it again. I mean, Alien was a great movie. A fantastic movie. I do like old shit. I'm all into like 80s stuff. I'm a big fan. I decided to watch the Superman movie the other day, bootlegged, obviously. Um, you're from New York, sweet. All right. Are you ethnically American? And by American, I mean an English reject, a reject of the real of the only true motherland. I'm telling you, even in Brazil, they don't believe it's gay if you give and don't receive. But I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a bit touchy on that one. I guess it could be seen as like a power thing or whatever. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of I don't know. I don't subscribe to that. I think if you fuck a guy in the ass, you're gay. But what do I know? I'm more on the not being able to unsuck a dick side of things. I think if you suck a dick, there's no one ringing that bell. That's all I'm saying. But for me, if you fuck a dude in the ass, even a woman, even a dude who looks like a woman, like if you fuck lady boys, you're at least bi. Um, why can't I see what spit? Oh, I believe that trend can make you gay based on stimulants making you want to fuck literally anything that moves. I've never been on trend. I don't know the full side effects of it. I do think you can be like, because again, brain chemistry is very important, and you know a lot about this. I do believe you can be your brain chemistry can be fucked up to where you do things that aren't in your character. I believe that. So yeah, I'd go for that. The hugger literally forcefully impregnates somebody with an embryo. You're absolutely right about that. Ethnically, I'm Irish. I knew we were kindred spirits. By the way, if you're new here and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? I am now 12 subscribers away from 1.2, which will do absolutely nothing to enrich my life. So do it immediately. Um, my ancestors came to New York 4 generations ago in the early 90s. I've got nothing but time for you. Irish brethren. I was born in Ireland. My entire family history is Irish, apart from, if you deep dive into that shit, which I haven't. So shout out to you. Do you know which part of Ireland your family came from? Sounds like I joined at the right time as usual, or the wrong time. Like I said before, that's the beauty of joining my streams. There's never anything to be learned. There's no growth here. It's just a waste of time. MMA Guru touched me. Sorry about that. Did he touch you in your secret place? Good to see you, Kerry. Shout out to Rob's neighbor. Rob's neighbor is ball achingly close to 1,000 subs. He's an amazing dude. Give the guy a sub. It's free and it makes us happy. Every time we get a new sub, an angel gets a boner. Your son is getting a solid lesson. My son's an absolute. Oh, sorry, Lane. You asked me this earlier. I have not watched the Sexy Beast series on Paramount yet. What I might do is I might stick it on like a tablet. Is it worth it? Because you don't understand, Lane. Yeah, Sexy Beast is one of my favorite movies of all time. Don't ask me why. But is this series going to ruin it? Is what I'm asking. And like the stream, by the way, if you forgot to hit that fucking like button, do your boy a solid. 34 minutes until the early prelims. I'm going strong. I'm going strong. I used to strategically place lighters all around my house in the randomest places because that's what you got to do, man. That's the one thing I don't miss about being a smoker. Misplacing lighters. We used to make a game out of like stealing each other's lighters as well. It's like the rule of the game was if you hand your lighter to somebody, it's fair game. It's allowed to be stolen. I've never been to Ireland. Oh, you should go, man. When I moved back to England from China, I took a pit stop in Ireland and ended up staying there for 6 months. and just going everywhere around Ireland. Went to Limerick, went to Tipperary, went to Donegal, Kerry, Clare. Loved it. Do 10 push-ups? No, I'm not doing that because I've got a pancake ass and I don't want you to see it. But I do sets of 70 push-ups. You can choose to not believe me. I don't really care. I'm not here to impress you. I don't miss smoking at all. I miss. Do you know what I do miss? I do miss smoking weed, which I haven't done for a while. I haven't done it for a while. Eventually, I will go back to smoking weed, especially if it's legalized, because UK weed is absolute dog shit. And I never was much of a bong guy though. And you know, in the UK, we like to ruin our weed by putting cigarette into it. So I grew up on that. Claire's lovely, man. Claire's beautiful. I spent the most time in Claire. So I had like a there's a friend of mine that I worked with. His dad owns a couple places there, and we stayed there while my son was like really young. Amazing. The air is beautiful. The people are so friendly. Just chill. When did you start watching MMA? Who's your favorite fighter? God, my favorite fighter at the moment is probably Ilya. He's not my favorite personality, but I like Ilya Tapuria. I like Fluffy Hernandez. I like Yuri Prohaska. I used to like Drickus until he ruined my life. Um, I've got a very eclectic mix of like favorite fighters, but I started watching MMA about 13, 14 years ago. It was a couple of years before the Conor McGregor era. I used to love it was Anderson Silva, funnily enough, that got me into the sport. His favorite fighter is Imani Khalif. My favorite fighter is Mia Khalifa. Lane, please tell me about something. Please tell me about something. I need something new. So I'm gonna give I'd love to. Do you know what I'm gonna do though? Yeah, what I'm gonna do, Lane, is I'm gonna watch Sexy Beast again, and then I'll rock out the series. So the next time we talk, I would have watched a couple of episodes, and I will stick with it. I don't give up easily. Drickus isn't gay. Drickus is not a bum bender. All right, Frankie, I'm gonna watch Alien Law videos until the card starts later, boys. Take it easy, Idaho. Always a pleasure. But yeah, I don't miss smoking cigarettes at all. And I have like an on-off relationship with vaping where I'll vape for like a couple of months while I'm on holiday and then I'll stop. Because when I drink, I kind of need to smoke something. I was gonna say when I need to smoke, I need something when I drink, I need something in my mouth, which just sounded so wrong. Anyway, Lane, I'm gonna take you up on that. Drickus is exactly how he does. He looks like a porn star. We kiss in victory and defeat, mourn Visa. I've never heard him say that, but I believe every word you're saying. Sorry, kissing men on the lips isn't gay. I mean, it ain't straight, but I don't know if I'd go as far as gay. It's a very cultural thing. Like South Africans are very like that. They're very familiar. I'll put it that way. Yeah, so I'm gonna watch the movie again first because I haven't seen Sexy Beasts in a while. Are there a lot of gays in Ireland or no? I would say there's the same amount as there is in most Western places. Yeah, Pretoria, you're probably right. Um, but like I said, I mean, Greg, I haven't exactly done a head count. It's not really what I'm into. But I would say the proportion is about the same as in England or America or wherever. Little light squash of Adderall at 11:30. Oh my god. How you doing, House 7? That's one way to enter a chat. How you doing, brother? Hope you're very well. Familiar equals gay. But Westy, yeah, the fact that you're so viscerally worried about that is a bit questionable to me. The thing is, yeah, if you're like, as long as you're comfortable with yourself, is Ireland full of gang activity? I mean, they've got the mafia. They've got their own little mafia, but Ireland's chill, man. Ireland's a good place to go and raise a family. It genuinely is. I can't speak highly enough of my own country. I can't. I love Ireland. I love being Irish. Are the gays in Ireland annoying like in the USA, or are they more relaxed because of the Catholicism? Um, Ireland is a very is Ireland is like an overly liberalized country. We're like always we're always on the forefront of like I don't know. Um, we're always accepting. Okay, I'm gay now. I didn't say that. Man, we is talking about gay she here, man. That she is haram, so cheer up. Cheer up. No, we're generally just talking about anything really. It's kind of no holds bar in here. Darren Till versus Luke Rockhold. Is is that tonight? Is that happening now? I think Darren Till is going to beat Luke Rockhold up. Darren Till is actually a reasonably decent boxer. Darren Till has some skills. I don't know anything about Ireland, but I think I like Ireland. Ireland is a really nice place. Like it's got, beautiful countryside. People are very friendly. We're a very accepting bunch of people, and the accent is hilarious. Irish people are just generally funny. If you changed Conor McGregor's accent to an English accent, you'd realize what an unfunny retard he actually is. But that Dublin accent just makes everything funny. If you got a bit of balls about you and you're willing to rock out a legendary accent, you can make anything of yourself. By the way, quick reminder to you guys, if you wouldn't mind fucking liking the stream. Is Darren Till fighting right now? I don't think he is because it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I imagine he's fighting on our side of the world. It's not in England, is it? Darren Till, let me see. Misfits undercard. No, it's next week. Till is fighting on August 30th. I had a feeling it wasn't today. I think Darren Till is going to beat him up. I have relatives in. Well, Till has definitely laid that pipe in Brazil. I did. Thank you very much, Greg Arnold. I appreciate that. I am so close to something. I've got no I've got no end goal to YouTube whatsoever. But it's always nice to get a sub. I still feel good about it. I don't check it as much as I used to, but I think just building the community is what I've always been about. So I appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. Shoot Yamayoth. This is definitely an Arab guy. Definitely. House 7, expose yourself now and keep your pants on, bro. Where are you from? Be honest. My mate from Bedford just came back from Nam for a year. He reckons England is cooked with all the immigrants. Um, I don't really have much of a view on immigration. Because I only care about myself and my own little world. So yeah. Yeah, well, House 7, if you look very closely, I'm not monetized. So when I say I don't give a fuck, I really mean it. I'm from the England. Bullshit. Bullshit, sir. You're in a cave somewhere. Don't fucking lie. You're in a cave using narrowband connection right now. And I know you think I'm insulting you. I'm actually not. I was Mr. C. You know this as well. I was just in Vietnam. I came back from Vietnam like a week ago. Fucking beautiful country. I mean, it's dirty, it in a very good way. I loved Vietnam. Why you no want subs? Because I don't make money on YouTube. I don't monetize. I don't want empty subs is what I'm saying. I want people who are going to be part of the community. They're going to turn up and talk some shit. That's what I want. I don't give a solitary fuck about making money on YouTube. Cave, I'm getting violated by a chill guy. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, you're making me feel bad now. I'm just joshing you. To be honest, yeah, usually when people come in here and there's loads of spelling mistakes, I'm like, definitely inbred. I've done it again. I'm sorry. You travel a lot. I do, yeah. I do. The only continent that I haven't been to is South America. It's the only one. And I don't know when I'm going to get round to it. But I believe I've been to over 100 countries. I like your streams from Vietnam. Yeah, they were funny. It's fun. It's fun getting out there and showing that I'm not just a talker. You know, I can back it up. Do you like Po, Frankie? I'll be honest, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Vietnamese food. Like they have very good food there, but it's not. I don't like the traditional Vietnamese stuff. I'm not a very big fan of it. It's the same with like Filipino food. Don't like it. It's grimy, but it's real, 100%. Me is a Muslim, so I have to do the prayer and glaze the Hamzat because he also Muslim. Okay, fair enough for me. But why am I doing an accent? I mean, if you want to suck Hamzat's balls, that's absolutely fine. I respect it. Have you been to Antarctica? Have you been to an Antarctica? I don't really. No, I mean, like, I don't think it. I don't. Here's the thing with Antarctica. Yeah, I don't think people should be fucking around out there, so I don't count it. But you're right. So I haven't been to 2 continents. Well, technically 3 because I haven't been to the South Pole either, or whichever one's north or whichever one. I forget. Geography isn't my strongest. Oh, Poe is gas. Um, I tried it in Thailand. I'll be honest with you. It's all right. It's all right. But it's very easy for me to get, like tripped out. So it's something that I've got to get used to. I've only ever done it once. It was kind of a nice experience now that I remember it, but I might have overdone it, and I felt a little bit sick the next day. Uh, uh, uh. Geez, man, what do you do for work? I'm actually a professor, believe it or not, which is proof that if I can do it, anyone can do it. Because I'm straight up tarded. How you doing, Machiavelli? DDP had Hamzat in full mount, could have finished him. If they were still fighting right, if there was no like time limit, they would still be fighting right now. Real talk. Hamzat would still be wet blanketing him right this moment. DDP couldn't stop him from doing what he was doing, and Hamzat couldn't get past him to finish him. I'm a professor of English literature. When does school start? So I go back to uni on the 1st, but I don't think my students are back until the 4th or the 5th. So I've got like training and shit. Bro really read it in Arab mode. I can't help it, man. Michael Bisping sold me some sand just to prove he can sell sand to an Arab. How? I can't figure you out. But I'm grateful that you're here. I think I could come to enjoy you. I don't know why I constantly say zesty stuff like that. It's purely accidental. Ortega fight still on. I believe it is. It's being fought at 154 pounds. I love Harry Potter. Have you heard of that one? Not answering that. I have read all the books though. Wonder how many people are going to unsubscribe after me saying that. Frankie, how many books have you read? I don't know. Like, I couldn't even begin to guess. It's probably not as much as I think it is. Probably not. I'd say between it could be anything between like 1,000 and 5,000. Reading is my main source of entertainment. Are you professing all school year? I firmly believe, yeah, I'm only gonna do 1 year. I'm doing one more year and then I'm going back into the beautiful comfort blanket of retirement because I miss being a scrub. And I miss spending time with my son. I mean, I still spend time with him now, but I mean like infinite time. I've read 7 Cheddarhead, you've eaten more books than you've read, you fat cunt. Mikel Ferreira versus Kyle Dukas. Yeah, I don't understand why they fought this fight. I know why they're making this fight, but it's a disgrace. They obviously love Mikel Pereira, and he's fallen off the wagon a little bit. I'm telling you, that fluffy loss is going to get better and better the more that people look at it, because he is actually very good. However, they're clearly putting Dorcas in there because Dorcas has been harassing the UFC apparently to get back in. And they're like, all right, we'll give you an opponent, a guy who's just lost. Yeah, why is he only plus 200? I don't know. I think the money on Mikel Pereira is amazing. My favorite book is Huckleberry Finn for obvious reasons. Huckleberry Finn was one of the first books I read. I don't really remember that much about it. It was one of the first books that my mother gave to me. It's crazy that my first time in the stream, I thought you were like 19 and you know, I unretired, Steve. I've been working since January. And I signed a contract like a fucking mongoloid in June. So I'm going to do at least a year, another year. And then I'm going to go back into retirement again, or I'm going to just leave England. I can't hang around in this shit fucking country anymore. I mean, I've managed to keep a decent head of hair, so I'm grateful. No visits to Turkey for me yet. Not quite yet. A lot of hard R usage in that book. Really? I don't remember. Isn't Huckleberry Finn a bit of like gay erotica, like under the cover? It's like it's like the gateway entry to Brokeback Mountain. What makes England shit? The people, the weather, the cost of things is just outrageous. And here's the thing, yeah, I'm at a stage in my life where money isn't a major motivator for me, and I'm still disgusted every time I pay for anything. And I mean anything. It's not worth it. So the taxation's ridiculous. People just have bad attitudes. I mean, I know that there's a lot in the press about how England has been overrun with immigrants and blah blah blah. I live in like a very isolated community now. I used to live in London, but I live in like a very small town in front of a massive lake. So I'm not really exposed to the way that the country is, nor do I care. But I can just see where the trends are heading, and it ain't good. Moby Dick was definitely gay. Of course it is, mate. It's about a big white oh, whoops. I don't I don't know I was slow in English class, and we were allowed to read it because we weren't mature enough to handle the hard R usage. It's interesting though. Again, I haven't seen it, sorry, I haven't seen it. I haven't read it in years. I think I read it when I was like 6 or 7, and I can literally remember very, very little about it. It is what it is, and I'll never be reading it again. God damn, I smell amazing after my shower. Is it weird to be turned on by one's own self? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, Westy, is jerking off gay? It's a nice little psychological question for you there. So it's literally morning out here now. God, this is glorious. I wish they had more. Oh, Idaho's back. I fucking love you. Idaho, you better jump on panel tomorrow. You better. Need to have you and Brutally on. It will be nice. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, mate. It's all right. Nothing becomes fact until you get my approval. As long as you respect the dynamic we have, we're all good. I love you, bro. So I think we're about 15. We're not 15 minutes. I think we're about half an hour away. My mum doesn't let me do self-touching yet. I'm only 27. I was about to say something really rude there. It's tomorrow right now. Does that hurt your feelings that a card is starting technically the day after? And on a Saturday morning as well. You guys must be freaking out. I reckon, yes, so many Americans are not going to watch this card. You're not real fans. I've said this. Imavov versus Baralho and Fluffy versus RDR, who potentially gets the title shot? I think the winner of Imavov and Baralho is going to get it. It should be Fluffy. But then the thing is, though, yeah, it depends on whether there's an injury in one of the fights or, like, you know, let's just say if Imavov and Baralho have a stinker of a fight, and then somebody gets an impressive win in the RDR versus Fluffy thing, somebody can talk their way into a title fight out of those four. And it's interesting. The problem is, yeah, and this is what these four gentlemen are going to realize. Hamzat Chimaev is not going to give them an easy opening to fight him. He's going to clutch his own, he's going to sit on his own dick for the next 6 to 9 months minimum. Hamzat Chimaev is not fighting again this year. It is currently 7:46 a.m. in England. Bro, jerking yourself off and someone else, what is the difference? It's the gay. It's not gay. Sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do. England is 5 hours ahead of East Coast USA. I think that's about right, yeah. So you lot must be freaking the fuck out right now. I like this start time. I'm going to make myself another cup of tea in a minute. And then I'm going to chill out and watch the card, get a little bit of work done. I've still got some planning to do for next week. Oh, yeah, Tone. So tomorrow it will be around the same time as I usually do. So it will be like 9:30 in the evening UK time or something like that. It's going to be a more civilized panel tomorrow. Oh, that's the plan. I might get Jax back on as well because I fucking love that guy. Is coffee popular in Ireland? Yeah, tea's more popular though. Tea is the staple in Ireland. 100%. Dana should spend some of that 7 billions for a little baggie for us Americans suffering those ridiculous hours. So, I mean, I'm not sure how that 7 billion is going to be distributed. I imagine some very fat pockets are going to get aligned. I mean, those TKO executives are going to be getting some very healthy bonuses this year. You can be damn sure, yeah, that none of that money is going to be going into the fighters' pockets. That's for damn sure. Drinking some twisted teas, right? What's a twisted tea? I'm looking forward to this card. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow start because I'll be honest with you, most of the prelim fighters, I don't know who the fuck they are. There's going to be a lot of like Chinese regional fighters. There's going to be some really dull, there's going to be some really just unknown, but it'll be unknown people, but it'll be scrappy. Do you think Rogan got paid a lot from the new deal? I reckon Rogan's on decent money, but not that he really needs it. Joe Rogan's gonna have a job with the UFC as long as he wants because he was there obviously for for the grind, and I respect it. But he knows nothing about MMA these days. He's basically a casual. I'm not sure what a twisted T is now. Let me see. All the non-Chinese fighters look half asleep. Of course they do. Twisted teas. What is this? What? Oh, you mean like iced tea? It's like iced tea, but with real brewed tea. No, I've never heard of this in my life. Sounds like a dope idea though. Gay or no gay, jerkins are off is haram. So cheer up. I love how you end every sentence with it's like it's gay, guys. Cheer up. Fuck your boy up, man. Smash you, boy. I come here, smash everybody, and fuck everybody. Jumps in a. Oh, House 7, you are very special. There's nothing wrong with being a casual. People get very sensitive about being called that. It's just boozed up iced tea. I quite like that idea. I thought that Dustin and Justin were the same person. I mean, they basically are. Both inbred rednecks, pretty much. So we must be pretty close to the card starting now. It must be about 15 minutes away. I'm surprised I've lasted this long with my throat because, I'm going to be suffering for it for the rest of the day. Has Dougie, maybe somebody can update me on this. Has Dougie gone live yet? Because I'm getting bored. Ooh, Fight Fairy's on. Dougie's Corner is not yet on. No way they're inbred. Are you joking? No way. Who is inbred? Oh, you mean those rednecks? There's definitely some people. There's definitely some going on. 25 minutes out still. Cool. I'll try and survive for as long as I can. Are you in marriage? I was with somebody for 15 years and we have several children together. So technically, yes. And I am one of the worst advocates for marriage on the planet. I think if you get married, you're a fucking spastic. It's the dumbest thing you can do as a man, getting married. Subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It's good to see that you and Musical are so chummy again. It makes sense for Musical to be doing a watch along. And to be fair, his watch alongs are really good. Musical is one of my favorite live streamers. Even though he has questioned my personality recently, I still love him, and I always will. You look like you're 28 years old. I'm actually going to be 41 this year. I will head to Musical too. Yeah, tell him I sent him love. What I might do is I might wait for him to go on. When's he due to jump on? Because I do owe Musical a nice raid. I owe him several raids. So shout out to him. One of the OGs in the game. No, I'm actually nearly 41. I have my eldest child is 21 years old. If you're bored, Frankie, watch MMA Tube Fight. It's on now. It's not so much that I'm bored. I'm just yeah, I know you've questioned me yourself, Westy, and to be honest, I don't care. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just like we'll stick to what we're talking about privately. I think I've made my case very, very clear. And if people want to accept, when I said I don't care, I don't really mean that. What I mean is that I am who I am, and I'm going to stick to what I believe in. And while I respect your opinion, and I always do, I'm not a follower, and I don't really, we'll keep what we talked about private because that's how we do. But I hope you will remain as loyal to me as I have to you, is all I will say. Nah, man, we get them married and we not liability. Me make my son. I've got to stop reading it out because you drift in between good grammar and bad grammar. So and I always thought, yeah, that like I always thought that I'd want a son to when I had sons, I'd want them to be MMA like MMA fighters. I Now that I've had sons, that's the last thing that I want. Am I rich? No, I'm not rich. I would say that I've reached a reasonably comfortable level where I've worked hard and I've achieved a situation where I'm relatively comfortable, but no, I'm not rich. I grew up pretty poor. So I'm quite chuffed with that situation. I've done quite well in life, but I'm a very hard worker. Not on YouTube. I mean, I've been blagging this shit for years. Minimal effort, pretty much. But yeah, I believe in hard work and graft, and I have done since I was a young man. So yeah, I'm doing all right. Have a good one, Frankie. I hope you feel better soon. Thanks very much. I'm slightly concerned that my throat hasn't completely recovered yet, but hopefully within the next couple of days I'll be back. If you watch wrestling, you're 12 or a retard. And I mean that with all due respect. Yeah, sure, Westy, we can always talk. There's no meanness, there never is. But like I said, man, retiring at 40 means you've done so I officially retired when I was 37, but I kind of I don't know, it causes tension when you live with somebody and you're retired and you're in each other's faces all the time. It's not a very good idea. And also I just miss being productive. I missed um feeling like I was doing something with my life. And while it's very rewarding to spend a lot of time with my children and taking my foot off the gas pedal for a little while, it wasn't best for me in the long run. So I'm glad to be back, but we'll see how long it lasts. Have you heard of the Isle of Wight? Of course. Of course. Yeah, Westy. So all I'll say is like if you missed the comment again, bro. Guild is fighting Parlay Princess a man in a park right now. I don't believe that. If they do that, yeah, someone's gonna end up in a body bag. Meeting up a random stranger from the internet to fight them is straight up retarded. But I'm sure a lot of people, plenty in here, want to see Giuliano do it and get beaten up. Maybe he needs a bit of a slap, probably does. But I don't know, man. I think it kind of goes to show, yeah, the level of clout chasing people are willing to do to put themselves at risk like that. But whatever. Dude, that's unheard of retiring at 37. So the thing is, yes, like I said, I was with somebody and we were both professionals doing high-end jobs. And we worked very, very hard from when we were teenagers. So we got ourselves into a decent situation. And even though we're on different paths now, the fruits of the labor were still there. Gilly agreed to it. How you doing, Carl? Carl, welcome back, bro. You've missed a complete and utter load of nothingness, but it's been fun. Um, what did you do for work before being a professor? I did a lot of different jobs. So I've done loads of grindy jobs. I worked in retail. I worked in Blockbusters when I was a teenager. So because I was broke, I used to go to college during the day, and then I would do night shifts to grind through it. And then I became a teacher, which I did for about 6 years, and then I got my master's, and then eventually became a professor. But I've done a lot of like shitty jobs. I used to work in a flower shop. Working in a flower shop was my first job. I was 13. Did it for £1.50 an hour. You didn't see my comment that said I was from England, Russia, New Zealand at the same time. Oh, Izzy's in the chat. Israel Adesanya's in the chat. Again, if you are new here, Give your boy a sub, like the stream. Much appreciated. Good to see you, Carl. Always welcome here as always. Is Giuliano really going to the park to fight? Why does he call himself Parlay Princess, by the way? I'm not familiar with this guy. I don't really know that much about him. I'll be honest. He seems a bit wet, if I'm being honest. Well, I mean, they both are. They both seem a bit wet. I used to work at Baskin Rob. I would have guessed that. I would have guessed that, Cheddarhead. So dumb, Tim. They fired me after 4 months. Did they, be honest, Jay, did they come in one morning and you just had your fucking head in a bucket of ice cream? They were like, why have we got the profit reports back and we're in a deficit this week? What's going on? And they've turned up and saw your lardy ass just going through the stock here. The thing is, yeah, Cheddarhead, I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, I actually believe that you're a Chad who's like 6 foot and like shredded, and you sling mad dick. So you know all of these round as fuck comments are just me joshing you because you know I love you. You worked at Starbucks. Starbucks would be tough, I imagine. I imagine Starbucks would be a tough place to work. I don't think I could. I don't think I could manage a job like that. The service industry is fucking hard. My first job, one when I was £1.50, but I was 13, so I couldn't legally work. So I used to do a cash in hand job. Why did I see hand job? I wasn't given hand jobs for £1.50. That was a Freudian slip. There's nothing wrong with again. There's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. You got to grind. You got to grind. I had to make sure all the ice creams weren't expired. You fat legend. I don't know, man. You seem like a good guy. I'm all right. I can be a little opinionated sometimes. I can be cranky, but I'm generally well intentioned. It will be live streamed. Someone's gonna get shot, man. I'm telling you. Here's the thing, Carl. Yeah, one of them is not gonna turn up. The best case scenario is one or both of them get arrested. Worst case scenario, someone ends up in jail doing life, and we know it's not going to be Giuliano, as unhinged as he is. I worked with exclusively black trans women at Starbucks. Oh, Starbucks is that kind of vibe, in it. It just is. Chuck E. Cheese. What do they? Is Chuck E. Cheese like a fast food restaurant? Yeah, it's a restaurant chain. What kind of shit do they? Is it like burgers and shit? I've never been to a Chuck. Oh, they do pizzas. That makes sense. Of course. Why did I think burgers? Because obviously cheeseburgers. It's good to see you as well, House 7, man. You're always welcome. What was the prior message? Sorry, hang on. It will be live streamed. What did you say? It might have been blocked, Kyle, because I can't see. Oh, not the park. Wednesday 29th at Mount Vernon Gym. I actually think that's a more sensible. If they have to fight, it makes sense that I'm not American. Of course, I had to look up Chuck E. Cheese. I've never been to one. And I'm not a fat cunt. I mean, look at me. It's an arcade with pizza. That sounds like a great combo. But no, I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese. And I imagine they've got mascots running around, right? Dressed as like barnyard animals. Am I on the right vibe here? Lane, how long did you have to keep your Derek Lewis photo for? Was it just a month? 27th. I mean, I detest everything about it, but you can be damn sure, I'm going to tune in. I predict somebody gets shot. Or even more so, I predict that it doesn't happen at all. That's more of what I'm on the side of. The whole thing was just farcical. Imagine how farcical it's. How you doing, Usalis? Imagine how farcical. Imagine having to live the rest of your life having been beaten up by Giuliano Argenti. Imagine. Parlay Princess will have to live with that. Like, if Parlay Princess beats the shit out of Gio, we're all gonna be like, well, yeah. But imagine if Gio styles out on him. Imagine if he MVPs him. Imagine that. I won the bet on the Prates fight, so I got to get rid of Derek Lewis. That sounds fair. Sup, Frankie? I've been here just working. Usually, what do you do for work? I've never asked you that. I'm a very bad friend. And you always stream at strange times that I never get to be a part of. I'm usually in bed. Frankie, you're a beast doing this every Saturday for UFC. I feel your pain. Actually, this is one of the good days. So I set my alarm for 4 a.m., but I didn't realize that the card actually starts at 8 a.m. So my plan was to go on like 2 hours before the card started, but I ended up. So you think Gio is the favorite? He does have the height advantage, and Parlay did shit his pants and run away by the sounds of it. But again, I don't know the full. I think the fact that both of them are even willing to do this or even talking about doing this is straight up retarded. But do you drink alcohol much? I used to be a very heavy drinker, but now I don't. I only drink when I'm on holiday. And good. Customer service online sometimes or photography. That's quite the eclectic mix there, sir. What do you think of my odds? I've got no idea. I mean, I've got nothing to. I'll say some. I'll say this much. Yeah, Gio does seem very, very confident. I'm assuming that Gio, yeah, is going to spend the next week training and hope that it's enough. Parlay left after 11 minutes of being there, but it makes you wonder, though. Yeah, why would he go there in the first place and then not back it up? Maybe I think they. I got the sense that they were both, you know, if I have to be honest with myself here, I would say that Parlay came off a little bit worse in the situation because he suspected that Gio was on his way and then bailed. But then I've heard things like Lane is saying that Gilly switched the goalposts multiple times about where they were supposed to meet. The thing is, though, yeah, a lot of you aren't going to agree with this, and I know you love the drama. Um, they're both retards for even entertaining this. Walker sleeps Yang in round one. It's not ridiculous. They're light heavyweights, and he does have knockout power. But Yang is going to be fighting in his own climate at the right time zone in front of his own fans. He's going to have that supercharged Chinese power. So I'm going for Mingyang to yang his ass to fucking Jupiter. Johnny Walker can't be trusted, but it wouldn't surprise me when you're that big. And Johnny Walker is skilled. No, Westy, it wasn't directed at you, bro. You've got to admit, though, there's a lot of people in the community that do. I mean, I've even got to admit to myself, I didn't realize what was going on, and I never really tune into Gio's live streams because they're usually 7 hours and they're just too long, and there's a lot of rambling going on. And like I said, I've got love for the guy somewhat. I also think he's a cunt at the same time, and he knows that. But I have to admit, yeah, as much as I like to pretend I take the moral high ground, when I tuned in and he's like, "I'm gonna go fight this dude," I was like, I was compelled. I couldn't help but watch. So I am a hypocrite, but at least I'm a self-aware hypocrite. Frankie, is this the perfect time for you for UFC? The perfect time, it probably is. The morning would be. I need to move to Australia or an Australia adjacent country that doesn't have loads of weird aliens roaming about on the continent. I like a morning start time. You wake up, get your coffee ready, bust a few nuts, and then get straight into watching a UFC card. But nah, I'd say the morning is probably the best time. If I'd got it right, if I'd slept for the whole night. But like I said, I woke up at 4 a.m. because I thought the start time was 7. So I wanted to do a 2 hours before the card started. And this ended up, or an hour and a half before the card started, and this ended up being nearly double that. I would engage at times, but I'm not about that. That's not true. Giddy was in an Uber typing in chat, going to a different location while Parlay was already streaming. I mean, there's definitely. I mean, again, I didn't follow the whole thing, so it's just what I've heard from different people, and there have been so many versions of stuff that I've heard. Um, it seems to me like they were both posturing though, because Parlay turning up and then being like, "All right, I'm gonna stay there for 12 minutes," is a bit weird. But then if Giuliano got the location wrong, then he was clearly trying to avoid it or engineer that situation. Yeah, Usually, I heard you say that about the 4 hours thing. Um, that surprises me about you. You seem like a chilled fucking guy. But what do I know? It's I've never ever heard Parlay talk. Never. I'm not subscribed to him. So I'm in no position to shit on the guy because I've got no idea what kind of character he is. I don't know. Is he a good streamer? Which is very fresh for me to say, seeing as I'm one of the worst out here. But it is what it is. Bobby Green is the Johnny Walker of the light heavyweight division. Yeah, that's actually pretty fair. That is actually pretty fair. That's a reasonable take. That is a very reasonable take. We are now officially 10 subscribers away from 1.2K. I've been stuck between 1.1 and 1.2 for ages now. Do your kids like you? They love me. I'm the chill one. I'm the one who kind of, when they're in trouble, they come to me. Well, what would you consider a good streamer? Somebody who plans things well, knows how to engage an audience, didn't leave early, left because Gilly was making excuses and went to, which is perfectly reasonable. Again, now that you're telling that side to me, but you have to admit, Lane, they're both retards, or it's a retarded thing to do. Being a grown man and meeting up with somebody to have a fight over two $5 bets is about as dumb as it gets. But however, I will say this here: when I was a younger man, I would fight over anything. I would get into stupid situations for anything. So I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying it's not mature, is it? But damn, it's compelling shit. And as much as I'm shitting on it, I will be watching. And don't ask me who I want to win because the answer might surprise you. Do you think it's the ego that gets in the way, or what is it? I think I can honestly say, do you know what? Maybe I'm not being very self-aware. Maybe I'm not, and maybe you can tell me differently. I don't feel like I've changed since I've been on here. And it's because I've got no skin. I think it was 9:30 a.m. Maybe there was a fight cancelled. Fighting over a $5 bet, low key rules. I mean, people have fought over nothing. Over, what are you looking at, cuz? What are you looking at, cuz? And then they just scrap. So I guess you're right. I guess fighting over $10 is, I mean, crackheads fight over less. So, guys, would you have the KO power but Johnny Walker chin, or pillow hands with I'd have the pillow hands with the indestructible chin, because eventually that cunt is going to gas out. Whereas if you've got a glass chin, you're going to get smashed. It's going to get smashed sooner or later, and it's going to be embarrassing. First fight is on. Do you watch Leth Way? I do not. I do not. Let's pull this up now. It's a shame now, yeah, because musical is now going live, and my fucking live stream has gone through an ebb. Wow, this Chinese guy looks he looks massive. All right, guys, I think my throat is giving up on me. Does anyone have a link for somebody who's live now? If musical is live, let's show our boy some love. I literally Dougie's Corner's on. Is musical MMA on? Musical MMA is on. I'm gonna throw musical in. If you guys could head over to this link, it's a solid dude out here. Unfortunately, we have had a little bit of an ebb in viewership, which is unfortunate. But if you could head over to Musical MMA and show our boy some fucking love, I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. Um, as I've said, I will be back tomorrow evening, and I look forward to having all of you here to see another autistically fucked up panel. Thanks to all of you for hanging out. Yeah, bro, yeah, I would say not in a gay way, but I can't really confirm or deny that. Head over to Musical MMA. Show the guy some love. His live streams are ultimately fun, and he's a good lad. So enjoy the rest of your evening or morning or whatever it is. Thanks to all of you who hung out. Um, love you all as always, and I will see you tomorrow night. I'll try and get a great panel going. Take it easy, D Half. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you. Head over to Musical MMA.